Hello, Bucks fans. Welcome into Fiserv Forum here for Game 5. We are about 45 minutes here from tip-off between the Bucks and the Heat, and the Bucks fighting for their life. The Heat with a 3-1 lead in this first-round series. The Bucks must win the next 3 games if they want to move on to round 2. For that matter, they must win tonight. If they just want this series to keep going, head back to Miami for this weekend and then come back here for Game 7. The Bucks will have Giannis Antetokounmpo back on the floor tonight. He, of course, missed Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. I'm trying to remember all he missed. Had him back for Game 5 with that back injury that he suffered in Game 1, but he was feeling much better. Of course, there was not much that could stop the Heat in Game 5, and particularly Jimmy Butler, who scored 56 points in that comeback win for the Heat, forcing a do-or-die game here for the Bucks tonight, facing a gentleman's sweep. If they want to avoid that, they, of course, will have to win here tonight. We heard from head coach Mike Budenholzer before the game on Giannis, his status, how he's feeling, and particularly if he's physically able to play up to his normal MVP capabilities, which he will have to do tonight if the Bucks want to get this win. Let's hear from Bud now on how Giannis is feeling physically before Game 5.
He's at a good place. I think he's incredibly diligent about taking care of his body and doing everything he can to put himself to a position to have a great performance. So he's had a good, 2 days and ready to go.
Around the 6th.
So you heard Bud there on Giannis saying he feels okay. He knows how to handle himself. He knows how to pace himself before these games, and that's going to be huge for the Bucks if they have him at his full capability for tonight. Of course, there's also a little bit of a catch-22 with Giannis playing injured, so to speak. At this point of the year, everyone's a little beat up. Everyone's a little hurt. But if you're to the point where you're physically hurting your team, it can almost be worse to put you out there. That's a balance that they have to strike with Giannis, and they feel that they're on the right side of it at this point. He's fine to put back out on the court. He got a triple-double in Game 4 down in Miami, so he's clearly capable of handling himself out on the court. But that balance, Giannis always wanting to be on the hardwood no matter what versus it being possibly an issue for the Bucks, is something that Milwaukee has had to strike this past week. Let's hear from Bud now on that balance with Giannis.
Yeah, it's always a delicate balance, a difficult balance. He wants to play, he wants to be on the court, and still maintaining his ability to impact the game on both ends of the court. So he knows his body well. He communicates at a high level. So I think we'll just continue that and expect the best and just continue to communicate during the game. I think is the key.
Just with Drew, I know.
Of course, as we said, Giannis with a triple-double in Game 4, and none of that makes a difference if you're not going to stop Jimmy Butler. It's not just a matter of double-teaming Jimmy, though. It's a matter of stopping the Heat as a whole, and their ability is particularly from the three-point line. Of course, they are not in their arena tonight, which I'm not even going to attempt the name of because they have changed it 3 times in the past 2 weeks. But they are in Milwaukee tonight facing a much different crowd. That Miami crowd can really feed off of itself and make it almost impossible place to play for an opponent during the playoffs. Milwaukee gets a friendly environment here back tonight. But as they have seen before, it's sometimes just a matter of stopping Jimmy in the playoffs. And it doesn't even matter the arena. You go back to 2020 when these two teams faced each other in the bubble, and it was a grudge match yet again because of Jimmy and really the Heat team overall. Bud talked about that today and about being familiar with this Heat team from the bubble and remembering back on that series. Let's hear from Bud on that 2020 bubble series with the Heat.
It's a long time ago. I think, hopefully the guys that are here have grown and improved, and, as players, as guys that understand the moment, the situation. We obviously have a lot of guys who are significant new players for us, and everything's fresh and new, and they're ready to go.
So as Bud said there, it's not always necessarily familiarity, but what you're going to do with it this year. The Bucks have to come up with a better game plan for tonight. Again, if they do hope to keep this series going, Giannis Antetokounmpo should be back on the floor. As we said, no other injuries that we know of. There were a few of them right here behind me warming up, but I think they have now headed to the locker room as we are 37 minutes from tip-off. Win or lose, go home or advance, no matter what happens, we will have full coverage for you on JS Online. Jim Ozarski, Ben Steele, and myself here at Fiserv all night to bring you updates from the Milwaukee Bucks Game 5 versus Miami Heat. So make sure you stay tuned to JS Online throughout the rest of the night. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you after the game.